Joey, does Player of the Month have any significance to you? It's the first time you've won it in your career.
No, not really. I'm just usually just happy I play well, whether I win an award or not. Um, no, not really.
Be able
You
to,
obviously, sorry, right? You obviously kind of enjoyed the ride, or appeared to enjoy the ride with the
Yeah.
stretch that you were on, with the day off, and then not playing the previous game. Did any of that sink in anymore, just in terms of what you appreciated most about one of those moments that you said probably you won't experience again?
Um, yeah, I think so. I was able to look back on some of the swings, and I was really happy with the progress I've made with a lot of the work I've been doing behind the scenes, and more than anything, it's really fun to see the steadiness pay off. You know, the work, but most importantly, the steadiness, sticking to an objective, and ending up seeing it show itself in the game. I'm really satisfied with that. You know, I talked about being really happy with the direction the ball's coming off my bat, and yeah, I'm happy that I got to have a really good week, and then obviously being the Player of the Month, you know, it's shown itself all month. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Hey, Mark.
Joey, when you know, a couple of years that things weren't going well for you, did you feel it all written off by people, and then by doing what you've done this month, do you kind of feel extra satisfaction at all that you've been able to show that you're still a factor and that you're still an elite player playing the game?
Yeah, I've thought about this a bit, and you know, I've had one poor year in my career, 19. It's hard for me to count 20 because I really truly, you know, I started off in 20 pretty similar to how I started this year, and obviously playing just, you know, I played I think 50 games, you know, 200 something plate appearances. It's really hard for me to say I had a poor year in 20, you know, and so this is the continuation of 20. As far as being written off, you know, lots of great players have had a down year. Lots. You know, my favorite hitter of all time, Ted Williams, had a poor year. Said he would take a pay cut. You know, and then came back and performed well the following year. It's kind of what I'm doing right now, minus the pay cut. So. Yeah, I feel good. I feel good as far as being able to perform at a high level again. Yeah, and making the same salary.
Those 3 days in last August, the benching or sitting out, those 3 games, were you planning to try and change your approach before that, or did that kind of force you to do it?
No. Actually, that game was the game I struck out 4 times before I was benched. I started making a little bit of an aggressive adjustment, and I think I had promised myself I would go in that direction. But just sitting in the middle of this, you know, there was a pretty poignant moment where I was sitting 3 days, and I was told I'm not playing. And this was during COVID, and so the entire stadium, I had access to the entire stadium. All the stands were empty. This was in Milwaukee. And I sat up on the concourse where they were serving food with a couple other coaches and just some people that were just watching the game from the side. And you know, I'd gotten done with my work, and I was having a little something to eat, and the game started. And I watched a few of my teammates hit easy home runs. I think it was Jesse and Nick Castellanos. And I was watching their swings, I was watching their swing and misses, and I was watching the direction and with which they were hitting, and how much error they accepted. And it was almost like I was able to finally step back and be objective about what hitting really is in 2021, last year 2020, what hitting is in today's era. And I started watching a lot of the younger players, the Acunas, the Mike Trouts. Mike's not young as much anymore, but Acuna and a lot of the great players in the game, trying to understand what's the difference between us. And I started to realize that I'm failing. Like my approach will never ever succeed in our game today. And I tried to start emulating their style. And just sitting there on the side in Milwaukee on the concourse, feeling like almost like a fan, taught me that something needs to change, and it needs to change now. And the only way to be able to have high-end success is to make this adjustment. So I came back after and started to perform well, started to take more chances, and I hit a lot of home runs in that month. And then in the off season, I worked with some people, and all technique, all mechanics. Made some adjustments, and I've been able to really turn it into a good performance so far this year, and I think it's the sort of thing that's here to stay.
Anything else, guys?
Yeah, Joey, if you'll indulge, if I could change the subject a little bit. I don't know if the team is going to be honoring Joe Morgan this weekend on August 8th. His family will be here. I know you guys have worn number 8 on your sleeve all season, and I just wanted to know if you could share a little bit about Joe's place, the legacy, and kind of how you view that because of the relationship you had and how much you were around him.
Well, Joe's the greatest second baseman of all time, and quite possibly the best Red of all time. Frank Robinson and Johnny Bench have something to say, certainly Pete Rose. But I'm not sure there's ever been a better player that's worn the uniform. I don't think there's ever been I'm going to say that pretty confidently. I don't think there's ever been a better player to put on the Reds uniform. He could do everything. He was the best hitter on the team. He was the best base runner on the team. He was a Gold Glove defender. He played second base, a premium position. And most importantly, he was loved by his teammates. And I think you could ask, when Sparky was alive, I think he believed that Joe was the best player on the team and the most important player on the team. I didn't get to see Joe play, and Joe not only was the best second baseman of all time, but he's also been, COVID's thrown things off a little bit, but we've always had an influx of great players come through the clubhouse. All clubhouses, road, home, you get to see amazing players. I've met tons, and Joe far and away has been the best. Was the best. Joe was the best to interact with, to say hello to catch up with, to talk ball, to get feedback from. He was very helpful. There are years where, in 12, I told him I was going to catch him. He'd won 2 most valuable players, and I thought I was going to win my second one. And about halfway through the season, I was performing at that level. And I said, I'm going to catch you. I'm going to get 2. And he said, I hope so. I hope you win 3. And then we just talk, and he was just such a treat to be around. And I only got to know him so well, but of what I got to know of him, he was a really good man. And I've heard that from lots of different people. So this weekend, I think it makes sense to celebrate such an iconic Reds player, and I will be there to support it because I love Joe Morgan. So yeah.
because of how. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Brian.
Because of how available he was to talk ball and how interested he was in you guys in your performance. What do you think he would think about your adjustment and how at this stage of your career you've become as dangerous as you have again? Do you think he anything about your conversations with him stand out that you would think he was pretty good?
Yeah, we actually had conversations about the experience of playing as you get older, and he said that he went through a little bit of a rough patch and then seemed to find something in his swing and something in his game as he got older. He would have been incredibly supportive, proud of me, but he also would have told me he gives off the vibe that like more, go get more, don't stop, keep going, there's more. Way to go, I'm proud of you, but great athletes are very greedy, like very, very greedy. And that's the thing I love the most about him. He gave off that vibe, like you're doing great, but, you know, keep going, always assume there's more. And I feed off of that. And it's something I miss, you know, it's something I miss from interacting with Joe Morgan. And he would have been proud. I think he would have been proud. He would have been frustrated going through, you know, watching me play and seeing a bit of a cold stretch. But he also, you know, would have been proud at a comeback. So, yeah. Thank you all.
Thanks, Joey.